Reviews are out for the Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X. What are people saying about it? The next generation of Xbox consoles being built at Xbox is confirmed again by Sarah Bond on an interesting video of the tour of where it is happening. More games are announced for Game Pass, and another showcase is announced for Xbox. We have potentially another PlayStation game coming over to PC, some Halo teases, and a couple of other things to go over. But before we get into it, if you enjoy daily gaming news and content, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Really helps get the video out there. But for now, let's get into the news. So the Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X are officially out. Mine shipped yesterday. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, I have it in my hands and I'm playing around with it, and we'll be able to bring some more content with that handheld to you guys. But the reviews are out and I've watched a ton of them. There's a lot of in-depth ones. There's some great feedback and reviews overall of what the handheld can do, what it can't do, which one to get, which one to avoid. And basically, most of the reviews are very positive, specifically for the Xbox Ally X. Not so much for the Xbox Ally, but here are what some of the critics are saying about the review and about the latest handheld, the latest Xbox hardware, all of the stuff here that is going down. It says here, the embargo has lifted and outlets are sharing thoughts on the Asus ROG, Xbox Ally X, and the Xbox Ally handhelds. And the devices are the result of the partnership between Microsoft and Asus. And both devices are meant to build on the Asus's previous work, which we've seen with the ROG Ally, the ROG Ally X. A lot of the things are the same, the screen, all of that, but now it has an integration of the Xbox ecosystem, the Xbox software, and then you also have the controls, the handles. I mean, it's basically like holding an Xbox in your hands. That's what a lot of the reviews say. But we go down through the reviews and it's getting lots of 9 out of 10s, 8 out of 10s, 88s out of 100s, some worse off reviews here, 6 out of 10s for the Verge for the Ally X and 4 out of 10 for the Ally. So there are some lower ones, but overall, majority of the reviews I would say are landing in the 8 to 9 out of 10 range. Now, obviously, it doesn't really matter that much. One of the main things here with this handheld at the end of the day is that majority of the reviews are saying the Ally X is the way to go. It is a jump in performance. It is probably the best handheld right now that you can pick up on the market with the Z2E in it. And the fact that it is giving you that seamless, better experience than you previously were getting on Windows 11. All big wins here for PC gaming, PC handhelds, Xbox handheld, whatever you want to call it. It is a nice upgrade to where we previously were. And I think it is that time where we're going to get just a new path here for handheld gaming, where you're going to have SteamOS, you're going to have the Xbox full screen experience, and you're going to be choosing which is the way to go, because I think people are fed up. They're done with having to use native Windows 11 on devices, as it is pretty cumbersome to move around. And so that overall, I think, is the biggest thing when it comes to these devices. And obviously there will be continuous improvements when it comes to hardware updates to the software, all of those things. So the review scores don't matter that much, but the general consensus here is the Ally X is a great handle. It is the one to pick up if you can afford it. It's expensive. It starts at $1,000. So that is the drawback from it. The Ally, on the other hand, the white one, a lot of people are comparing this to the Steam Deck and it being a slightly more powerful Steam Deck. The issue right now with the Ally, and I would agree with this as well, is how does it fit in? It's $600. It's slightly more powerful than the Steam Deck. You can get a Steam Deck for cheaper than that, and basically going to get the same experience with an overall better OS right now, which is SteamOS. So there's a lot here with the white Ally that's kind of head scratching. I feel like that is a handheld that Microsoft and Xbox need to look at, and sooner rather than later, potentially lower the price. Maybe after the beginning of sales, we'll see how it sells, and lower that price down to make it more competitive. But the Ally X, if you have the $1,000 burning through your pockets, it looks like it is going to be a great experience and a great handheld to pick up. It's the one that I'm picking up, so I am excited about it. But overall, there's so much to like here with these devices. Now, aside from this handheld, which is their OEM handheld, the hardware, they are still working on their own first-party devices. We've seen the whole rumors and stuff that were debunked right away by Xbox, that they had stopped making it. They had canceled their next generation hardware, although people are still pushing that narrative. I mean, anything could change at any time, but as of right now, they are still making it. And we do have more confirmation on the fact that they are still making their hardware. Sarah Bond and Carl Ledbetter actually showed Good Morning America around the Xbox Hardware Labs to promote the Xbox Ally. And Sarah Bond says, this is where we're prototyping the next generation Xbox. So, I mean, here's exactly what it says. So no leaf is left unturned as to whether they are making an Xbox or not, but here we go.
Xbox president Sarah Bond shows me their labs.
This is where the team is actually designing, prototyping, and testing for the next generation of Xbox.
Oh, so this is the top secret room.
It is top secret.
So there he is. I mean, that's what she says. She's obviously teasing the next gen of Xbox, and that's it. But they're showing where exactly they're doing this, where they're prototyping things, where the next gen Xbox will be created, and then eventually we're all going to get our hands on it as customers when it does release, again, unless it does get canceled. Because I mean, that is the thing here. As of right now, all those rumors have completely been debunked, but it's a multi-trillion-dollar corporation. At any time, anything can change. Although I'm very skeptical and doubtful that the console itself is going to be canceled. I do believe we are going to have those in our hands one way or another, that no matter what it is, whether it's a luxury device or whether it is just a normal console and it goes along the pricing as whatever the next PS6 is going to be. Either way, another confirmation here on Xbox hardware. It is coming. I'm actually very excited for this next generation, simply because we are getting a first glimpse at, I think, what we're going to be expecting here from the at-home console experience, but it'll be even better because it'll be more fleshed out. And I think we're going to get our full console games from Xbox on this device, on top of our Steam games and PC games, everything in one place. And then when that does hit, I think you'll see that transfer over to things like the ROG Xbox Ally X, once they've continued to flesh out that ecosystem and flesh out the user interface and the full screen experience. So it's going to be a place where you're getting everything, your PC, your Xbox, even your PlayStation games that are landing onto PC, and obviously Game Pass. And speaking of Game Pass, we actually got 2 more games that have been announced for November 2025 on top of whatever is going to be coming out in the future. Sometimes they just do this where you just get random game announcements, games that have their own trailers and stuff announced that they're actually coming to Game Pass. These ones are both coming to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate in November. You have Void Train on November 4th for console and PC, and then you have 1000 Resist on November 7th, which this one actually looks kind of interesting. It's a sci-fi adventure, and you can see just some of the gameplay of it here. It looks like it would be an actually pretty interesting game, a third-person experience here. Obviously, it's going to have some cool narrative elements. An indie game, but indies have some of the most creative stuff out there. So 2 new games dropping into Game Pass that were just randomly dropped here and announced to us. And when it comes to indie games, Xbox has actually announced an ID at Xbox partner showcase here for October, and this is going to be on October 28th at 10 a.m. They announced it just the other day. They said you can watch the ID at Xbox Fall Showcase on Tuesday, October 28th on all of these following platforms. They will do big reveals from a bunch of studios. So we don't know what these games are going to be. I'm sure we'll get a lot of ones that are going to be coming over to Game Pass as well, but some pretty big studios here. Like you have Don't Nod in there, you have Thunderful, Raw Fury. Like there's a bunch of studios here that if you played any of their stuff in the past, you're going to want to go out and see exactly what their next games are, as this will be coming here on October 28th. Now we know next year is the big year for Xbox, when you're getting all of the games that made the platform coming back: Fable, Halo, Gears, Forza. We already got the Forza Horizon 6 announcement. We've seen Fable, we've seen Gears. The only one that we have not officially seen yet, and officially that it's been announced, is the upcoming Halo. And that is going to be taken care of pretty soon, as on October 27th at the Halo World Championships, you can pretty much bet we are going to get the announcement for what is the next Halo game that is going to be dropping here in 2026. Speculation is saying Halo Combat Evolved remake with changes to it and stuff, and it's going to be from the ground up, Unreal Engine 5, all of that stuff. But we have some more teases here from Halo's voice actor teasing big news later this month. And again, sorry, October 24th, not October 27th, as to when the Halo World Championships is going to be. But they say several new developments about Halo have surfaced recently, as we saw the 17-year veteran leave the company. That's another thing. There seems like there's some stuff going on at Halo Studios that isn't very good, as he put out some cryptic posts as to he'll be able to talk about it, I guess, once the NDA is up. It always seems like there's something going on at Halo Studios, or previously 343. Seems like they've never been able to pull together, but they're still making games, and we're still going to get more from the franchise. We also did see the Halo CE remake that is being co-developed by Virtuous Studio. But we have Steve Downs here saying, repped for our girl, Jen Taylor, in Chicago this past weekend. Jen and I can't wait to see you guys at the Halo World Championships in Seattle, October 24th and 25th. He says, P.S. big news is coming. The question here that I think in everybody's mind here is it just Halo CE remake that they're going to be showing more of? Or because it's a multiplayer world championship, are we going to be seeing a multiplayer reveal of some sort? Will the multiplayer be within Halo C? Will it be another spin-off of its own? Like, it's pretty clear they're winding down Halo Infinite, so they're going to have to bring out something new. I feel like it's going to be a major multiplayer component here of Halo Combat Evolved remake, and then you're also going to get the single player experience built from the ground up, which will be a cool thing. But I'm extremely excited about this to see what is next in the Halo universe, because it's been long enough. It's been long enough since we've gotten a new entry into the franchise. And my hope is now, using Unreal Engine 5, if Halo Studios can get their shit together and not have issues, we get multiple games, spin-offs. We don't always have to have a mainline Halo game, and they're going to be able to put out on a more frequent basis. One of the biggest FPSs this year, Battlefield 6. We have some report here, some numbers potentially about how much this game has already sold. When Battlefield 6 was coming out, I thought it would compete with Call of Duty Black Ops 7. I didn't think it would overtake it or sell more than it, but you never know. These numbers are very strong. You're seeing the Steam numbers. You're seeing some reports here of early sales. It could be Call of Duty this year. We will have to wait and see how good Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is when it does drop. But it looks like Battlefield 6 sells over 6 million copies, and a good chunk of those are on the Xbox platform. Alinea Analytics, so you have to take this with a grain of salt, because they've put out some very weird ways of tracking their analytics. But if you do believe them, this is what they are saying. They've sold more than 6.5 million copies. They say after years of missteps, the Battlefield series is back with a frankly outrageous commercial debut, with over 6.5 million units sold through in its first few days across PC and console, as per their estimates. Translates to about 350 million in gross revenue, putting Battlefield 6 in conversation with the the generation's biggest launch. So it could absolutely beat Call of Duty if these numbers are true, again, from Alinea Analytics. And they say here, on console, Xbox high share of players relative to its lower install base isn't too surprising. After all, Battlefield has a long-standing history on Xbox, and the platform's early adopting players are often drawn to new shooters. They're saying here, Series X and S has reportedly sold 1.2 million copies, 19.6 of the share, compared to 1.5 million on PS5 and 3.5 million on Steam. Yeah, that is because they have less units in homes, less consoles in homes. 1.2 million is a big number here for the Xbox platform. A lot of posts I've been seeing of people showing like the physical copy of their version of the game has been the Xbox version. We've seen comparisons and how the game runs, and the Xbox version at points sometimes even runs better than the PS5 Pro. So I'm not shocked here. Xbox is basically an FPS box and an RPG box when you think about all the franchises that you have on there from their first parties and stuff. So Battlefield doing well on Xbox is not a shocker whatsoever. And in terms of more content coming over to Battlefield 6, Datamine has revealed there could be 6 more game modes coming over here to the game itself. And this has been obtained by Insider Gaming, saying that there are 6 more modes during Battlefield 6 at some point in the future. They have them all listed out here. You have Raid, Payload, Sabotage, Squad Shootout, Strike Point, and Tank Hunt. I mean, not shocking, because simply one of the things here that Battlefield will have to continuously do is, yeah, it's one thing to sell off of the hype right away, but it's another thing to be able to keep players engaged over years of content. They're going to have to keep bringing out content to keep people wanting to play, especially if they're not going to become a yearly release, which Call of Duty is. We've heard rumors that they want to eventually turn into that, but we will see if that does end up happening. But Battlefield 6 right now, just a resounding success across the board. And it's going to be very fun to see how Black Ops 7 does stack up and where does this competition lead both games in the future. And finally, it looks like PlayStation could be bringing another game over to PC and MLB The Show 25. Shocking that this one isn't there yet, to be completely honest, but it looks like it could finally be happening. It says Sony is seemingly bringing MLB The Show to PC, and San Diego Studios is seeking a senior PC graphics programmer for a AAA PC title. You would assume it is MLB The Show, the next upcoming one. It's shocking because they've already brought it to Xbox, they've already brought it to the Switch, and why wouldn't you bring it to PC where you have probably the biggest player base of people that would go in there and play it? So it's coming. You can pretty much bet on that. But on the video there, if you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Bye.